information as an economic resource. This is a new topic. So this is in your unit 10. This focus on the information and its economic value. The topic is information as an economic resources. Here, majority of the time, how you are going to use the information is the usability of information, because unless you are using this information in a proper way, in a logical way, it doesn't reflect its economic vitality. So if we require to find out the vitality or the economic aspects of information, you need to evaluate the use of information, where you are using that particular information. That's why, and what is the requirement of the information? Economics means it's always based on the demand and supply. If you have a demand, you are supplying on that, and if the people are happy with the supply of your supply of that particular demand, then they are more into the they are in more demand. So that's a cyclic process of the economic resource generations and consumption. Here, information are the direction of use of information is kind of consumerism, means you are consuming information. That's why you are getting economic value of it. So the requirement of the information. Here you can understand the topic where we are going to cover substance of the economic, then information economics, the characteristic of information, scope and ramifications of information economics, microeconomics of information, information and market, information and non-market, information and measurement, information economy, knowledge economy, Indian economy, economic of information system and services, relevance of information and economics to library and information studies. These are the, as an economic resource, we are going to start on that. Now, it is useful to differentiate the information economics and economics of information, which are the two sides of the same coin. Information economics perceives the information knowledge resource as a factor of production, growth and development, both at the time of micro and macro level economics. Information economics at the micro level deals with the problem of information in terms of uncertainty, asymmetry of information between buyers and seller in different type of market, such as product, insurance, job market. In non-market situations dealing with the public goods and services, information operates as a vital factor. So this is a concept of information. On the other hand, economic and information, as distinguished from the information economics, deals primarily with the financial management of economic resources in the institutions and organizations. Some of the implication of this aspect with reference to library and information systems and services. The study information economics and information economy is valuable for in library information professions, at least for two. First reason is the recognition of information as a key factor for material growth and prosperity of the country. Reinforce our faith, effort, commitment, and involvement in all our studies on information and knowledge. And the second one is the expansion of the job opportunity in other fields for information professionals. Substance of the economics. The formal definition of the economics according to Webster International Degree is that it is the science dealing with the different aspects of production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services for the material welfare of mankind. The material welfare of mankind implies the satisfaction of human necessity and want by obtaining appropriate goods and served with whatever economic resource available. So, substance economy is based on the material demand and the satisfaction of the human necessity. That's a cyclic process. So when you are using information as a consumable concepts, or can be usable and reusable concepts, then it's become a kind of, then you can identify some of the economic value of that particular information. Now, the economic system could be free market economy and planned economy. Here you could understand, in free market, the market condition will determine most of the economic activities like demand and supply, production of goods and services, and distribution, cost and price, etc. The actor could be business people or other favors potentialities. Now, in free market, you can understand there are two concepts. One is free and planned. In free market, the market condition determine the most of the economic activities like demand, supply, production of goods and services, distribution, cost and price. This actor could be business people or various potentialities. That means who are the best in the market, they will rule. Who are the best in the market, they will rule. So there is a free market, means everybody, the market is open for everybody. Anybody has the efficiency on those aspects, they can be ruled out. They can hold the situation. They can be the actor on that particular play. But in planned economy, the resources are allocated usually by centralized and commissioned body of government of a country with expert drawn from different specialities setting economic goal and objective. This body grows plan specific period, set achievable target in that specific period of the country. So here you can understand, when planned economic is concerned, so there is an agency, and that agencies, either government or kind of bodies, who are looking, who have made guidelines for the different aspect, and everybody will need to act on that. So if you look at the Indian economy is concerned, or any country's economy throughout the world, it's always a planned economy. It's not the free market. Free market was a period of medieval period. They have but still government used to take on only the tax, and they don't bother on the business people. So, but in planned economy, it is not only the tax is concerned, it is the concern of the how demand and supply is going on, and what will be the quality life of the people. Is that going to affect any kind of thing, any kind of burden to the people of that particular country? But on the other hand, there is another concept coexist with the planned, free and the planned. Here you can see the mixed economy. The resources are owned partly with the private group and by government. In that system, the resources are allocated partly by means of the price mechanism of the market, partly by the government through the centralized planning body. Now, in mixed economy, you could understand more often people are saying PP, public-private, PP model. But exactly the PP model means private-public model. Means private people and the government all together will create an airport, will create a new train, will create the shipping kind of thing. They create different kind of here you can the courier service, mailing services. So it's both existence are there, but the rules and regulation is followed by the centralized system, but both can act as a player. So the three concepts are there, and how they are going to relate your library science information. So in library, information is one important aspect. Without information, library cannot exist. And if there is a library exist, definitely you have information. And when your society required information, they are getting information from the library, and society is grow up. Suppose I want to create a video on gaming, and suppose I want to create a video on that. So how are going to create and what will be the things, then I will go definitely refer to the library, and how people are doing, I will watch it, and I will read it. Then I will create a game video for that, and that video probably watched by the everybody in the society community. And when they are watching this particular video, which is made by me, and probably there are two concepts. Either I will get money for that, except if I do not get money, at least everybody started knowing that that person are creating video game on that. So it's a kind of business establishment. Any business, the majority library, if you visit the economic growth, the University of Delhi, you will find, and Department of Economics, you'll find there are many books on the statistics. Suppose previously what happened, if a business must want to set up a sweet shop in your neighborhood. So normally what happened previously, a businessman who wanted to do that, he usually visit that particular place many times to understand, to observe, to make a kind of statistic in his mind that what is the capacity of the people on that neighborhood, and what kind of things they are more prefer, and how purchase capacity preference, and what kind of ambience they are looking forward. So these are the things they observe, they watch, and they set up a kind of shop. But today's date, it is for the one particular sweet shop. Now think bigger. If you want to set up a mobile company in India, what are the things you need to be take care of? So on that aspect, you need to take lot of statistics, and those statistics, the capacity of the people, what is the government policies for that? There are many things. So you are going to invest 1,000 and million crores of rupees. So on that aspect, what you will do, you will follow the library, you will reach the library, and you will take many studies done on that particular aspect. So when you are followed by those studies, and then only you are able to take the decision for that. So library and information science has a greater impact on those aspects. It directly lead to the investment and the economy. So here is the information economics. Suppose you are putting 10,000 crore rupees for that one project, and you have not read any article thoroughly, you have not followed any kind of statistics which is available in your library or your library database, and you are immediately jumped up to the 10,000 crore rupees for the investment, and if your business not initiate, and you are lost huge amount of money, so it's a bigger loss. So that information correlate with that particular concept. So that's why information has a greater value than product value. So that's why library has a greater value than the product value. Now, informatics information economists had an understandable reluctance to consider the information and knowledge and distinct factor of production, deserving a special treatment. Information and knowledge were, in fact, considered along with the overhead for the purpose of accounting and budget. But on account of the pervasive and influential role of the information and knowledge in micro as well as the macroeconomics, economists have developed information economics as a specialty. So when informatics economics is concerned, then the economists and the people who are in economics and other things, they have created informatics economics because you need to understand the pinpointedly the understand the macro equation and economics, you need to create kind of specialty, an area that's basically called information economics, because it's required. Then characteristic of information: searchable, not exchangeable, that could be given away and retained at the same time, expandable and increased with use, comparable, able to be summarized, integrated, etc. Possess definite value depending upon their use, which may be quantified and treated as a accountable asset. So these are the characteristics of information. Now, you have already know many characteristics of the information but this characteristic is correlate with the economic of information. Many vary in values over time in an entirely unpredictable way, in a source of economics and political power. So these are the characteristics. Now, Fitch and McLaughlin map information economics. He is the person who created the concept of economics of information. Here, he has concentrated on economics of knowledge and information. Generally, he has created some stream. Now, production and distribution of knowledge, knowledge industry, and information service, information mechanism. The first one is economics of knowledge and information. He initiated the concept, the knowledge economics or economics of knowledge, means what is the value of knowledge and how it is act as an economic factor and influence the economic factor, even in information as a general. Then, and how knowledge has influence on the production and distributions, and what is in knowledge industries, what is information service and information mechanics. So knowledge industries today is a booming industry. You have the majority BPO basically is basically knowledge industries, knowledge kind of industry. If you are the call center kind of thing, whenever there is a problem in the laptop or anything, so they immediately, especially in case of, I have seen the IT sector, especially if anything is has a problem in your home, so immediately say what kind of message they are sending. Tell me everything, and they will tell you, do right that way. I am telling you, do right that way. Switch off, switch on. Tell me this thing. So they are guiding you always. It's a kind of knowledge appearing as a knowledge industry, because on that particular situation, suppose your refrigerator is not working. On that time, if somebody telephonically help you how to operate, how to restart that particular thing, so it's a kind of knowledge. If he or she is unable, so immediately they refer one person who will reach to your home and repair your refrigerator. It's a very common concept, but it has its great value in economics. That's basically knowledge industries, and that kind of industries is purely commercial, and that kind of industry booming like anything. So probably, and if you, another important, just dial, or that time it was 82222, just dial. If you dial in just dial and ask for, I need to have a very good restaurant nearby me. So immediately they will tell you, these are the restaurant nearby you. That is nothing. It's a knowledge industry. They're giving you information, right? They have a total information. So this is kind of, they're providing information service to you. Thirdly, ignorance, chance, risk, and uncertainty as a factor, explanation for the individual choice and particular economic institution and phenomena. So ignorance, chance, risk, and uncertainty as a factor in the explanation of individual choice and particular economic institutions and phenomena. Then uncertainty, risk, aversion, venue, spirit, innovativeness, and alertness as a factor in the explanation of the entrepreneurship and profit. Now, here is the other expansion. It's a new knowledge, invention, discovery, and its application, innovation, limitation as a factor in economic growth, transfer of technology and know-how, economic forecasting, cost and value of information, private and social alternative information system, decision theory and game theory, decision making by consumer and incomplete and uncertain knowledge, decision making by the workers and job with incomplete uncertain knowledge, decision making by private firm in various market position with incomplete and uncertain knowledge. These are the m.l.i.s extension. Now, in macroeconomics of information, uncertainty and information, it is a very important aspect in the economic of information, uncertainty and information. Suppose I am going to start a new project, or I want to sell salt in your neighborhood. I do not know, is that I have purchased a bunch of salt packet and I am going to sell it. But if I am not sure that your neighborhood will able to purchase or not, your neighborhood is purchase or not, the capacity, so it is uncertainty. So if I got proper information, they have a proper statistics, they have the ability to purchase, then probably I'm not going to lose myself. So here information is directly correlate with the economy. Then information as a market. Market and information is linked with like anything. Market means you need to have a proper information for the market, and market need to be know the related information on that particular market. So market has a kind of strong interlink with the information. Suppose you have a market and the market don't have information. Suppose you are going to purchase a share, equity, and you do not have a proper information, so you cannot do it. In equity share market, probably it is the information who has the better information, they are better profitable people in the market. Then consumer product market and information and consumer product market, here you can see it's also correlated. If you do not have don't have the knowledge of the consumer product and its market, where you are going to sell all those things and where is the market, then you cannot exist in the economy. Then insurance market, you need to understand what kind of, suppose you are going to do kind of information insurance, I am going to do kind of insurance, or I try to do for other people. So on that particular areas, that's why today's budget, today's date, you will see some of the web portal has giving some information on insurance market, and they will give you the comparative statement of the different insurance company, where you will be more profitable, and you will be in a good positions for purchase insurance policies. So insurance budget probably. So this is a kind of knowledge area where you are going to give that one. Then kind of job market. Here you can understand what kind of labor it is required in the labor in the required in a market, and the requirement of the job and the people who are looking for the job. There are two different aspects in the job market. One is availability of the job, and the job you are the people who are looking for the job. Here the most important common bridge is the information. If the person do not have information where he required to apply, they cannot got job. And the person who required a person, if they do not know who is the best person for that, so that kind of information, so it will be a great loss. Then finance and market has its of course the impact of the information. And non-market area, you are also getting some kind of information. It is correlation with the information also. Now, information measurement. We have already talked about when why and how we are going to measure the information. In that information measurement, the most important aspect is you cannot measure information with a normal weight machine. You need to understand the demand of that information, the currency of the information, the reliability of the information. On the basis of the information, you can measure the information. So any information cannot be a true information. It depends upon the person to depend upon the information to information. And probably recent information and newest information has a greater impact on the information value of the information. And the value, that value you need to be measured. Which information is required more and where and when. Then information economy. Here you can understand the industrial revolution in 18th century, and then its science and technology has developed. It requires important contribution factor of economic growth and prosperity. Research and development in science were set up to expand their frontier of knowledge. The bargaining volume of variety of information and knowledge resulted in the explosion of recorded science and technological information. The arrival of the computers with invention of the microelectronics provide new opportunity to develop information system and services on a massive scale. The internet and World Wide Web furnished not only unrestricted low-cost access to information, but also facilitated communication among peer group. With all this unprecedented advance in technology, providing instant access to a variety of information, with information and knowledge have taken a central position and have become key factors to economic growth and productivity and development. Then knowledge economy. It is now increasingly realized that being innovators, knowledge is the held with the company or country and outside it. The key is also an ensuring that knowledge is a continuously created, accessed, assessed, communicated, sustained, and exploited. In short, managed as a resource as much as other resources like capital and labor. So here you can see the understand. The next, the World Bank has given a very important quotations for that. For a country in the vanguard of world economy, the balance between the knowledge and resource has shifted so far towards the format that knowledge has perhaps become the most important factor determining the standard of living, more than land, than tool, than labor. Today, technological advancement economy is a truly knowledge-based. So if your country, your society has a greater knowledge, then you are also economically most forwarded than other. The knowledge is basic for the capital, economic growth, driven by the accumulation of the knowledge theory of knowledge. The technological breakthrough can create technical platform for further innovation and knowledge for the economic growth. It will lead to the economic growth. Some of the characteristics, knowledge-based economy is characteristic by set of quality and quantitative change in the last 15 years. It is transforming this structure, functioning the rule and economy. The knowledge has a high rate of obsolescence of goods, service, and ideas. The knowledge-sensitive organization proactively enable their worker to take initiative and to sustain their core competence to enable the firm and remain competitive in the fast-changing world. These are the characteristics. This is also the increased importance of the knowledge means net stock intangible capital. Here, while old economy was fundamentally organized around standardized mass production, the new economy organized the flexible production, goods and services. So these are the characteristics of the economy. Knowledge. Now, Indian economy, the expert economy. Indian economy, you could understand, we are more into the developing stage, and in developing stage, the major constraint is infrastructure, and we are moving to the infrastructure. And not only the physical infrastructure, you have a technical infrastructure is required. Probably we do not have that much of libraries or information center to cater the nation. We need to have create more libraries. Government need to focus on that, because the most less priorities area is the library in India. And that's why if you compare the developed nation and the developing and underdeveloped nation, it is the nation where knowledge-based nation is the most developed, and were in the middle of the knowledge, some portion of the knowledgeable, some portion is not knowledgeable. There, it's a difficult to set up, cater the huge number of people who are not into the library, and we require more library to require that. If you look at the Indians development in different quarters, these are the quarterly development up to July. It has goes little lower, but normally it is kind of growth pattern. In 5.6, it was 8.7 in July 2016. Now, this is basically GDP. And gross, what exactly the GDP is, that is based on the economy of the country. If you compare the GDP of Japan or China, it's much ahead of India, because their society is more knowledge-based society, informed society. They have a very good infrastructure, information infrastructure. Now here, gross domestic product is the total monetary market value for finished goods and services product within a country border in a specific time period. As a broad measure, overall domestic production, it is function as a comprehensive sensor for the country's economic health. This is quarterly published by the government, and you have already seen that India's GDP, coming GDP, will come in a negative. That means your domestic needs and production will be in a negative growth, because you got into the lockdown. Workforce in India. If you look at the workforce in India, the cultivation is 95%, agriculture 86.2, then activities allied agriculture, it is 8.1, manufacturing is 40.3, and construction 20%. It is, I'm talking about the main workers. Then trade 28.5%, transportation and storage 14%, and other 69%. So you can understand the main workers, and the marginal workers were not complete worker. It's sometimes they work for work. They work for a particular specific period of time. That's basically called marginal worker. Here you can see agriculture is 58.2%, cultivation 22.9. So in a specific season, many of the people are started working on that. So now, in case of women participation in the workforce, if you look at the 2015, 16, 2012, 13, here 27.4%, 25.8%. It was it was higher. It was increased. But here you can see the different situation in urban. In urban, it was 19.2%, but it has reduced 16.6%. But in rural, it has increased. It was 28.4%. It has 31.7%. The reason behind, women are more informative. It's appear more informative than men in the rural sector. And so addition to the workforce in the next decade, if you compare, the India is a greater perspective in the next decade in the workforce. So your economy has an excellent opportunity to achieve the goal. This is unemployment and participation rates. This is not estimated unemployment rate, 8.46%. These are the factors, but it's again depend upon the situation. It reflects somewhere new. And then constraint towards progress. There are many constraints. One is population. Next is poverty and education, healthcare, literacy, So there are many challenges, and within these challenges, we need to forward to come up with the Indian economy. And if we wanted to do a better economy, we need to create first well-informed society. If you have a well-informed society, then we can able to cope up with the new technology, new development. Here you can see vicious cycle of poverty, low productivity resource, low rate economic growth, low per capita income, low rate of saving. This is the thing. Then critical observation made well-meaning command of the vision of India drift into the knowledge economy. India's industrial base to be strengthened before moving towards knowledge-based economy. This is one. Employment in industrial sector and infrastructural facility like transportation, communication, power, bridge, etc. will be far more than in the IT sector despite India becoming yes. Then literacy is another important aspect. So your requirement of investment is different from other country. You are more into your basic, your requirement of the basic requirement. Unless you have cope up with the basic requirement, you cannot go forward to the next jump. This is also, these two are another important aspect with these concepts. Now, what are the constructive effort you need to take? One is innovation, new technology, decline birth population, GDP, create employment, damage building infrastructure to raise in national debt, inflations. These are the aspects you need to create for the constructive. You need to take constructive effort. Then governmental business, you have to put forward. You need to, government should act like a corporate. We need to take more, generate more resources from the foreign countries. Economics as information system service, library automation, development, specialized database, and opening up online database search services. These network, these are the correlate with the informations. Because you are processing information, you are collecting, you are storing information, you are disseminating information, but for the sake of the human knowledge. When human knowledge will be increased, then society will develop. And when society will develop, then country will develop. And country will develop, then the life, quality of life will be developed throughout the country. So the impact of the library has a better than other things. So we need to focus more on library, because library will take initiative to development of the humankind. And relevance of the information, knowledge, and economy. Right? It has both interlinked. A knowledge-based society is a economically uplift society. So we need to scope of the dimension of the information economics, open up the new area of study and research, new type of job market in emerging, new expand the scope for the professional opportunity for the employment. Thank you so much.